The Wrestling Mayhem Show. Since 2006, the pioneer in pro wrestling podcasting.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you got to do, make it last. Wait for the perfect.
It is a Wrestling Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here to have some mayheming. This is 894 Tuesdays. We've been talking professionalized wrestling. I have with me first from the Rizz Cave is the Rizz.
There I am. Okay, how is everybody doing tonight?
Hello,
Sorg, how are you?
Hello.
How are you?
I want to get this mouse away from your. There you go.
Get away from
Get away from your face.
How are you today, Sorg? I never ask you how you're doing.
Yes, everybody asks where Sorg is, but they never ask how Sorg
How is Sorg?
Yes. Oh, I'm doing great. I'm a little rushed. And my wife is on her second day of canceled flights from the Californias.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, so they're dealing with that. So anyways, so I'm very lonely right now. So,
I can come visit you, Sorg. It's fine.
well, I just had some friends over for the Awesome Cast. We had the Button Pusher, who I got in a lot of trouble back in PCTV in the mid 2000s. That's a story for another time for off air. Maybe you can ask me about that on Patreon, and or maybe after Patreon. And our friend Kid Mental was in. That's been hanging out on the Awesome Cast. So, I had a good time there. Anyways, we do also have with us is the voice of a lot of the stuff on IndieWrestling.us, the 2PW and the Renegade Wrestling Alliance that's celebrating their 15th anniversary this weekend. Tony Kincaid is with us.
I am. I'm actually here.
You-
And I was asked ahead of time, 2 days in advance as opposed to 1 day in advance.
Well, thankfully our cancellation gave us a lot of notice. So, no, because I booked something forgetting that we had an anniversary this week. So this worked
Yeah.
out because you asked me about that, and I'm like, well, yeah, sure. You're Tony, you're sporting. Audio, you don't see this, but you're sporting. You're still hurting. Your neck brace is still on your neck piece there.
Well, my neck brace is on my neck. Neck piece, I don't know what that means, but it sounds dirty. Don't ever say that to me again. Yeah, anytime I talk RWA, the C7 and C8 vertebrae flare up, which compact the C2 and the C4. The doctor says to wear it anytime I have to deal with anything RWA.
You know what?
I listen to doctors.
I'm no nechologist, so I'm just gonna have to believe you on that one. So no, good to have you here. We're going to talk about RWA, this 15-year history, being celebrated this past weekend. And of course, that's going to be live on IndieWrestling.us as well. So, no, good to have you here, and we'll be talking about a lot of stuff. Let's get into it. We'll get to RWA here in a moment, but there's a lot happening. My God, what a wrestling week we had. We had a really big weekend. GCW's doing a lot of stuff. New Japan had a really big show in California, and TNA came back. But before we get to that, I want to call out Matt Cardona being called out at the Emmys. Was it?
Yeah.
The Emmys.
Yeah.
The Paul. What's his name? Paul something. Paul W. Housen, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know. His handle is kind of weird. So let me grab this real quick.
Paul Walter Hauser.
Paul Walter Hausen. So apparently he was getting his award. I don't even know what he was nominated for, but he was I don't know. He was like doing slam poetry. And talked about he brought up Ibushi and Matt Cardona, he
brought up the NWO Wolfpack.
Did he seriously? What is happening? So apparently he's got a match with Matt Cardona at Pro Wrestling Revolver coming up.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I don't believe so. Or something. He's gonna be there, I guess. So take that what you will. So like I kept seeing tweets about there's an Emmy award winner that's gonna be at such and such, and I'm like, what are we talking about? Yeah, it's gonna be what Wrestling Revolver is Ready or Not, and that is he's on the poster. So March 16th in Iowa of all places. This is apparently gonna happen. So. Guys, I think I need to start watching Wrestling Revolver. Also, old friend of the show, the former Elias, is going to be on What a Show on February 17th over there in Texas. So, I don't know.
I'm stunned.
I am. It is yeah, I'm not ready for that. Stephen Amell, I make sense. He's had a couple of matches. I think he just pop up on GCW or something not too long ago. So there's that. So of course, this is the guy that didn't they steal his Emmy at AEW for a while? Didn't Jeff Jarrett's crew steal his Emmy and there was a whole thing?
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
So he's not a stranger to wrestling.
No, and now I need to see this gentleman versus Jordan Styles at some point.
Yes, Jordan Styles. I miss Jordan Styles. What's he up to?
I do too.
Other than
he's still busy as all hell.
He's busy playing pinball. So that's cool. He's doing his thing. That's good. Mm-hmm. So we do miss him in the wrestling world, though.
Maybe one day.
I
think he might have 4 Emmys now.
No. That's a whole faction of Emmys.
He might have a red wagon full of Emmys. Jordan is
fantastic,
low key one of the best editors, production people I've ever seen. I got to watch him up close once because I was at WPXI. Never mind. It just long story short, the dude's fast as hell. It's insane what he can do with clips. I miss him in the ring.
Mm-hmm. We do have from the chat, Jay Partners out there says all the best for Tony, hoping the neck is recovering.
You know what? It has good days and bad days, partner, and I appreciate your continued support. I keep thinking I'm gonna feel better, and then something happens at RWA, and I fall, and I hit the ring, and it hurts, and the neck goes back to square 3 or 2 or 1.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It seems like every month, around this time, it starts getting you probably start feeling the tinglies in there.
Well, I tried to wear it as protection, and it just Honey Badger's forearm just really got me, and then never mind. It hurt. The floor hurt.
Mm-hmm. Honey Badger going to get you. Anyways, so beyond that, we had a lot of appearances this past weekend. Let's start with New Japan. Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Sorry, former Jungle Boy.
Joe Perry.
Joe Perry. Wouldn't that be a
Who the
run?
hell is
actually-
Joe Perry.
You know who I wouldn't expect?
Isn't he the-
Joe Perry.
He's the guy who entered the Royal Rumble instead of Lowdown in
Oh.
2001.
Exactly. Anyways, no. Jack Perry, Jim Jack Perry, Jimmy Jack Haynes Perry, showed up at the New Japan show and attacked Shooter Umino, Moxley's old young boy, and ripped up his AEW contract. So that is definitely legally binding. Right, Rizz?
Like they don't have a show that's like that combines the two promotions at all.
No, he's in New Japan. He got
Yeah, not like
he
there's
got-
like not like there's a pay-per-view every
he
year
got
where
shipped off
a
to
proverbial door that's forbidden most of the time
he got
opens up.
shipped off to New Japan via San Jose. I'm sure that was a hell of a commute. So
I mean, good for him, I guess.
No, seriously, like if there's anything that's gonna like give him a chance to really shine, it's gonna be sink or swim is New Japan. You know what I mean?
At least he's not the devil.
yeah, at least he's not the devil. At least we didn't go that way with him, right? So
I mean, let's look at this from like this is Jack Perry's essentially excursion, so to speak. I know it stays in the U.S. and he
Mhm.
might do some Japan dates, but he's getting the New Japan excursion going.
mhm.
Like he made a huge splash. Say what you will, he made a huge splash, ripping up that
Mhm.
contract. All of a sudden, now things are up in the air. You don't know where he's at, but this is untethered, unhinged. It's all real glass Jack Perry, and he's in New Japan, where say what you will, like New Japan's a different ball game than American wrestling. Even in the States, New Japan is a different ball game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what happens with it. It was a pretty good show all around. We had a really good Moxley Moxley and Shingo no DQ match was incredible. Another great Ospreay and Okada match, of course. A good send off for Ospreay there for I think it was his last New Japan stateside commitment. And they're going to have if you haven't caught this, United Empire and the Bullet Club War Dogs are actually going to have the first ever steel cage match in front of fans in New Japan. Which alludes to there was a steel cage match without fans at some point. So I want to know the story on that one. I don't know is that the one where they're just like fought on an island for 75 minutes? Or something like that. Maybe there was a cage involved, but anyways, go look that up. It's incredible. I think we talked about it on the show. Shirley Doe might have brought that one up back in the day. So, it was a damn good card. Eddie Kingston and this Gabe Kidd. Where the hell did this guy come from? He's intense. He's awesome, and now everybody's saying that he should be the leader of Bullet Club, not David Finlay, who's also been incredible. Like this is the hottest start to a New Japan year that I can remember, like definitely since COVID, right? Like everybody's yelling, New Japan's back. There's a good vibe to everything, and it's really kind of showing. I think that American product is doing real well. So
Also, I don't subscribe to the fact that New Japan never left. Just because people stopped watching it didn't mean that it wasn't still putting on great match after great match during the pandemic era. I know the no clap situation was rough, but Will Ospreay was putting in work back then. And just because no one watched it because they were too invested in AEW and traveled across and stopped watching, like there was still good stuff going on in New Japan during those quote-unquote lean years. No, it was really good, and some of that stuff needs to be watched.
Absolutely. New Japan World has a new app. So,
Mhm.
no, it was a really good for that. Did you guys watch any of the TNA show or see any of the clips or anything from that?
I did see some of the clips. The first thing that jumped out to me was this is the TNA that I kind of was hoping we'd get
Okay.
in the early late 2000s, early 2010s. It felt so nostalgic, but also really fresh,
Mhm.
which was shocking. Like, how do you get both of those things? The crowd was lively. You wouldn't know the number if you didn't look it up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and the thing is I've been keeping an eye on TNA when it was Impact because, there's a lot of some crossover appeal there going on with not only AEW but guys that work in this area, have worked in this area, and just Scott D'Amore, what a legend. What a legend. The stuff he's put into getting TNA back on a check. I think it's legitimately like it's not going to be number 2, but it's sort of at that. I think it can get to that ROH level. I might be there.
And there's a place for that because ROH is, I love the current ROH product. I'm enjoying watching it, but I know there's not a mass appeal even as much as there was for the Sinclair era for that show. But it's AEW's NXT, like, hands down. There's no question of that. It's not Ring of Honor. It's just AEW Light, right? So there's space for that kind of thing, right? TNA has a platform. They're on Access. They're accessible on YouTube and a bunch of places and internationally. So they have something there. It is a place people look for. I think this was said multiple times during the show, even around the show on Twitter. I was really big following Twitter on Saturday night with things. And, it was the place for women's wrestling. It's where women's wrestling has been innovating for the last decade, if not longer, right? That's where your true stars were going. And even if say, Trinity's only there for, this run and going back to WWE, well, maybe she needed that, much like in WWE, people drop down to NXT and come back, refreshed. Some people just freaking need that, right? On this creative platform, right? If they're just spinning their wheels, go see what I can do somewhere else and then bring that new attitude in. Impact is that, or TNA is that. Oh, this is gonna be tough.
Say it right, Sorg.
Well, I've said TNA off the cuff so many times. The only reason I gave a crap about saying it right is because I want to make sure I say the right thing to their faces whenever I ran into them at work. So, and now I have to go the other way. So, anyways, so no, it's been it's definitely been a good alternative. I think that's the vibe it's been missing. And they've been a rebuilding, and man, and if you talk to the people at TNA, they were very frank about, yeah, we know why we're in this position. We used to do this and this, and we don't do that anymore. So we don't get all the bells and whistles anymore. But we're gonna, they were like staying the course.
Do they need the bell? Do they need the bells and whistles?
No,
they don't.
They got down to what was important, which was what was happening in the ring.
When they
wrestling,
when they had the bells and whistles, that was their worst time for a product of professional wrestling. Yeah, it was shot well and it was in HD and all this stuff, but you can watch joke after joke about this stuff. Shout out to OSW Review. They're doing a review of TNA during they flipped over to the HD during the Main Event Mafia era. Those are big names, and the shows are bad. Shows are bad. Now these names are not. They're big names to us, and maybe they were mid-carders in WWE, AEW. This is also a good place, like you said, to refresh, because wrestling is not a monolith. You can come from the WWE, come back down. Dango is doing similar but different. You got Decay, which I don't think Rosemary would ever get a chance with her gimmick as it is. Back in wrestling. I don't think she'd ever get a shot in WWE or AEW, maybe AEW a little bit, but their women's division. And like you said, Sorg, if you like women's wrestling, legit, solid athletes going at it that just so happen to be in the women's division. This is, TNA was the place to be. Gail Kim and Awesome Kong put it on the map before the Revolution. So, we can't forget that. Not to mention that 4-way tag was phenomenal. Seeing Crazy Steve is always a dream. I always love seeing Crazy Steve on with Hard to Kill. And of course, their commentary is second. And I got to sit into a thing with Tom Hannafan, do a one-on-one session with him to talk about commentary a few weeks ago before Christmas. So it was a blast to see what he told me about, and then see it translate on the big show with Matthew as well. And just, it's a good product.
And
it's a good product.
And what a cool venue. I was sitting on, we were, full disclosure, Missy was there for New Japan. We were working with New Japan on their streaming. So I run back up whenever she's doing that on the back end, just to make sure everything's going well. If there's any tech problems, just to be on the line. And they're doing the testing and everything, and I'm seeing like early shots of the venue, and while I'm watching the TNA pay-per-view, by the way, and I'm just like, I'm struggling to figure out who has the cooler venue tonight, because they got a nice little kind of arena in San Jose, and then TNA's at the Palms, and it's like the concert venue there, and there's a really cool, like, there were balconies and things. I think everybody's probably seen the shot of Bailey and Sasha Monet, whatever her name is now, up in the balcony. They put the commentary up in the balcony, and then next to them was the French commentators and everything. I was just like, this is like a cool, like, Hammerstein-esque vibe that's going on here, right? There's a random guy in the third row with no shirt on during the women's match. That was a peculiar sight. But it was Vegas, I guess. So and they're pretty much right on the strip. They're not in Sam's Town. Sam's Town is like way off the strip, and they got it showed. So they had I did look at, so I don't know why I was obsessed with this tonight, just because I was looking at the two shows at the same time, and I was getting the word that New Japan was a sellout. I received a text that was like, yeah, they had 6 tickets left, when we were setting up, and of course they sold out. They did about 2,100. It was about, I think, 1,500 at the Palms for TNA. Again, I think they pretty much sold out there too. So, and also I'm obsessed with WrestleTix, because on Twitter, because they do all the breakdowns of how many tickets were available, how many were sold, and things like that. It shows the setup, so you can see if they kind of cordoned off parts of things, in expectations or anything like that. So I don't want to be an attendance like nut or anything like that, but it's interesting to see on shows on this level too, because I think everybody's like, oh, this show didn't draw 10,000 people, it's a failure. And I think we need to get fans out of that mindset, right? Like the WWE way or bust, the 10,000 people in the stands, the things like that. Like, I don't think people know that if you're not in a big market and you go to a house show, there's maybe 2,000 people there. Like, I've been to those shows in Elmira, New York. They do not do big venues. So when you go look and say New Japan did 2,100, and they're going to do like 4,000 people in Chicago, that's already halfway sold before they announced Moxley versus Naito, and Mustafa Ali, that's the other one that popped up in a promo, who's going to be taking on, please help me here, who is he taking on? Eddie?
Hiromu Takahashi.
Whoa! Of course, we were talking all the New Japan, so Matt Harlan's had to do the run-in on us.
Sorg, I wanted to lay low so bad, but you were like,
I was messing up
out there.
I was messing up Japanese names, and you had to roll in.
You be. I was like, Sorg needs my help.
Look at that! You got a Carlin's Tron back. You got Carlin's Tron back there and everything.
Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best for you, Sorgy baby.
All right. Oh, and it moves. Wait a minute.
Oh God, I would actually love to see that match. Not gonna lie.
Are those Ghost of Mayhem Mania passes that David Arquette versus Samoa Joe there?
Yes, we're cycling through a select a premium selection of Mayhem Mania matches of the past.
Fantastic. I mean, we're starting next week, so
that's my huge announcement.
What's your huge announcement?
Yeah.
What was that it?
Yeah, we're back. I'm back. I mean, Mayhem Mania was never going away. But I'm back, Sorg.
Matt Carlin says the originator is presiding over Mayhem Mania this year. Fantastic. Fantastic.
The only one who knows the rules. That's me.
Yeah. It's been a rough couple of years without you.
The only one who makes up the rules on the spot.
The only
Mhm.
one who makes up the
That's
rules.
more. That's more
me.
like it, Tony. That's
Don't you
more
point
like
at me. You point an accusing finger at me, Riz. Don't you?
Wait, are
point
we
that
all
at me.
pointing? Are we all pointing at
Don't
the
point at
camera
me.
now?
Don't point
Point
at
at
me.
the
Are we
camera.
doing it?
Wait, over
We're
here.
doing the camera
Point
pointing.
back
All right.
that. Not that.
Point at
Point at that.
Yeah.
the versus sign.
Pointing at this
I have a
now.
sign
I'm
up there.
I'm pointing at the
sign up there.
Sorgatron Media in the window. So
Oh, okay. Well, I thought we
yeah.
were pointing at that. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm
just,
I'm
I
pointing
just-
at the-
I
I have a
just
sign
really
up
pointed
for
at
us.
had. Everybody outside's really confused what I'm doing right now. So-
Yeah.
Oh, they're used to it, Sorg.
That is true. This guy that waves wildly on Tuesday nights while we
That
drive
was
by.
such a Spider-Man meme right there.
Yeah.
If I could throw a 4 up, it would have been great. No, fantastic. So you're going to be here to make sure I don't screw up any more New Japan names during this event, and so
That's right. And then next week we are going to launch. I don't even know what year we're on, Sorg.
we should
But
probably figure that
Mayhem Mania is
out.
back.
We're
We
like
should
on
probably-
10, I think.
The most time-honored money grab tradition of the Wrestling Mayhem show,
Yes.
and we are going to roll this baby out.
There's money
Um,
involved.
I mean, for Sorg there is. For the rest of us,
Oh,
there's not.
sure.
There's not. No, sorry.
Pay some podcast bills for the year. That's for sure.
We're gonna keep the lights on,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and we are gonna we're gonna set things. We're gonna restore order. You know, Sorg, as the conscience of the Wrestling Mayhem show, it's my duty to come in here and set things right. After last year's debacle, and
Wait, how bad did it get last year?
I don't know. How bad did it get? You tell me. I wasn't around
Hold
for
on.
it.
Let me
Was
see.
it bad?
Let me see what the last one looked like. Hold on. Let's pull it. How bad could this have
What
gone?
was last year's like?
The fact
There was
that none
a,
of us remember it.
That's
Trying to think of what matches. Wait. Let me check. Let me consult my screen behind me. No, that was a few.
That
more
was
years
19.
ago. Yeah, it was a while ago.
I mean, we
see.
had such great stuff as like the Garganos versus the Graveses. You
Pretty good.
know, I mean, that's not bad. You know, and all these motion graphics that we worked on. I mean, those were pretty
Those
great.
things look great.
I mean, right? You know,
we got
some-
Batista last year.
got some help. Yeah, we borrowed Batista, our true Stone Cold. I mean, that's a banger.
Mhm.
You know, some Drew McIntyre and
Oh,
Piper Niven,
Rick Boogs.
Bobby Roode versus
We put
Boogs.
Rick
Rude
Boogs in a
versus
match?
Boogs. Way too many people in this match. Let's see.
There's always one of those
yeah,
matches.
There's
There's
one of
always gotta be
those.
one of
Another
those, yeah.
way too many people in a match. The Creeds versus the Usos.
I would
Bull-
pay. I
Bull-
would pay to see Bull.
Not sure how we're
Nakano
getting
Bull
Bull
Nak-
Nakano out of retirement.
Bull
but okay.
Nakano versus Rhea Ripley. Asuka versus Gunther. Like, I kind of still
Mm-hmm.
want that. I mean, let's be
Okay,
honest about it.
yeah.
You know, so you know, I think we did a pretty okay with it. You know?
I'll be honest. The Graveses versus the Garganos would slap.
Yes.
Like we could sell out or not Civic Arena. Yeah, we could sell out Civic Arena with that.
We probably could actually. Well, it'll be really easy now. We're just all sitting in a parking lot. So
Listen, it works for Enjoy. It works for 880. Like they rock those the parking lot stuff.
hmm
right.
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
interesting to see what the Mayhemers will come up with. What new and exciting intergender matches will we cook up next?
Absolutely.
Well, as a sponsor of the Wrestle Mayhem show, I look forward to this year.
There you go. And speaking of, how can you become a part of this other than our guests and our hosts every week? Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. There are going to be extra bits for you guys that participate with the Patreon, of course. You know, thank you to our friends that do support us at our fan of the show level. Bo Diggity! Woo!
I cannot do a high pitched voice
As
anymore.
well
It's
as
weird.
Ed Burke, Team Hammy. Oh, jeez. Team Hammerfist.
Team Hammy Fist.
I almost said Team Bobby Fish for some reason.
No, Sorg,
Tupac
no.
family, Tupac family, Dave Prop Pop Partner, spouse of Rooster Affair at roosteraffair.com, Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid, as well as Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, The Rizz, and Lance Fisher, and at the manager level, Bradley. You guys support the show too. Get it in early, and we will be bringing y'all in for the Patreon in the bank, whatever else we may be getting in there, right, Matt? I don't know. Are there new ideas? Is it,
no, there are no new ideas this
No
year.
new
Sport.
ideas.
I'm
There's
glad
going to
you
be new
asked.
ideas.
No, this
there's
is
going to be new ideas.
no.
I
We're
feel
getting
it.
back. We're going back to basics.
Back to
We're
basics.
going like Yeah, this is gonna be like when Bill Watts started booking WCW and he had forgotten what to do, and he like outlawed throwing people over the top rope, and there were no more mats on the floor. That's what we're getting. We're back
All
to
right.
basics, Sorg.
All right, I'm
We're
ready
getting
for
back to the meat
Spartacus.
and potatoes of
So no
Mayhem
more
Mania.
Forbidden Door.
I'm
No,
ready.
we're
I'm
never
ready.
doing that
I'm
again.
ready
Okay.
for
Never doing that
Spartacus
again.
Ric Flair action here.
Spartacus Rick. No, that was somebody else. But
Oh,
also
okay.
a terrible idea.
We're not
Um,
bringing Andre the Giant back from the dead this year.
No, no.
No,
Okay.
none of that. No.
We're leaving
But
him behind.
back
Leaving
to
him behind.
basics.
Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Right. Something happening?
Nothing is
No,
happening.
don't
Nothing is
worry.
happening at
Don't
all.
worry.
Nothing
Don't
is
worry about
happening
it.
at all.
Don't
Gift-
worry about it. It's
Somebody
fine.
gift that, please. Anyways, so next week, the fourth line will be here. Casey War and the other Brandon St. James. Oh, I'm tired. I'm sorry. The other guy, Brandon St. James. That can be his moniker. The other guy, Brandon St. James. It's either, it sounds way better than Wet and Wild. No.
No.
So they will be part of the first round or the matchmaking round of Mayhem Mania. So
The
I'm excited.
opening round.
The
if you
opening
will.
round.
Yeah,
The
whatever you
opening
can
round.
say so we don't have to number it is kind of what we got. These are hard and fast rules, Sorg. This is a tradition that we've been doing it every year. I can't believe you don't know how this goes by now. We do it the exact same way every year.
Kind of-
Nothing
No, we
ever
don't.
changes.
The
No, we
Carlins
don't.
household is serious. The Carlins
This is
household
a
is
serious-
serious when it comes to wrestling. There is
Tony.
no chicanery going on.
Absolutely. Tony, to quote a favorite movie, this isn't Nom. There are rules here.
That popped me.
Anyways, yes. Thank you,
We're
Matt.
hard and fast. They're all written down here somewhere. I can't show you, Sorg, because that would
Mhm.
that would cause trouble. But I've got all the rules. They're right over here. I can't show it to you, but they're right here.
Got a
Big-
rule book.
multiple volumes.
Is it a spine notebook? Is it an iPad with all the rules loaded on it?
It's multiple volumes. It looks like a Encyclopedia Britannica.
We had one of those
Oh,
sets.
is it on my shelf? Yeah.
I was gonna say, is it just a
Wait, so
bunch
it's
of paper just scattered everywhere?
it just
Yeah, it's Dave Meltzer's office, actually. Yeah, you're right, Rick. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm actually worried about Dave Meltzer's office. So, hey, we're going to talk about. So, we're going to show a video here on the break for you guys on the video version of the show, and you can check this out over on RWA and IndieWrestling.us' social media. Note that's a show notes. I bumped that. So this video that came up, Matt Carlins. Before we get to Tony's opinion here, you worked on this video. A good 3+ minute video looking back on the spanned 15-year history of the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. The longest promotion I have, the second longest relationship I've ever been in with is with Dr. Feelbad. I was just wondering, what vibes did you have from looking and digging through, other than why I know you text me while you were editing this thing?
Oh yeah, just incredible. Just incredible. So much fun digging through the vast RWA archives and reliving so much of the history, because I didn't even, I have not been around RWA as long as you have, Sorg, so I did not even know some of this stuff had happened. So it was fun to just kind of like even, pull people aside at some of the shows and be like, hey, if we do this video, like, what are we going to put in this thing? And then they tell me something just outlandish, like, oh yeah, there was this time when like Wild West attacked another tag team with blow-up dolls. You should go find that. And I'm like, hello, what? So yeah, a lot of crazy stuff and a lot of exciting moments. It was a thrill to put together, and nothing but kudos to all of these fellas for taking the time to sit down and let me indulge my artistic flavor. So I could shoot a little cutaway videos with these guys. These guys are all great. So,
Yeah, this is some good
yeah,
stuff
this
here.
is fun stuff.
So what was the, other than the blow-up dolls, obviously, what was the biggest surprise that you saw from the RWA history?
It was definitely the Dr. Feelbad street fight with Kato, which had like everything. It was Sorg. This thing had everything. It had like 5 run-ins. There was thumbtacks. There were tables. There was fire. There was a barbed wire baseball bat. I think the barbed wire baseball bat was on fire. I think that's what that was. And it was just. It just kept going. It was incredible. You would think it would be like, this is getting absurd. The children were chopping Dr. Feelbad on the floor, not like DX chopping, like physically like hacking away at him. So yeah, it was that whole scene was incredible because was unaware that Dr. Feelbad had ever attempted to
By the way, I love the
compete in a match.
hold on, let's roll this back because I love the point where the Rizz's introduction. There is a mother getting pow driven, followed by the unfurling of an American flag.
I mean,
in the hurricane.
If you hear the music, it makes sense.
Okay,
but
okay.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing.
So there's Jordan Grace, which I keep forgetting was like a part of this back in the day. I think there's Jonathan Gresham. Like a lot of great people were a part of this over the years.
Yeah,
so,
Big Bill.
Yeah.
Like the crazy thing is that I actually went up to Dr. Feelbad himself and was kind of like, do you have any suggestions for what you want to put in, what we should include in this video? Or more specifically, I was like, Dr. Feelbad, like, who is on your no-fly list now? Every promoter has to have one. And just don't let me put anybody in here that you're going to be like, I never want to see this person's face again.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, let me think about it. And he like walks away for like 5 or 10 minutes. He comes back with like 3 handwritten notebook pages, just names and things. And he's just like, here. And
this is during a show. This is show day that this happened.
Before the show,
like I saw it happen, and I'm like, I'm looking at it's, and when he says 3 pages, it's front and back.
Shoot, 3 pages. Yeah,
like it's.
It was a Dr. Feelbad memory dump onto paper, and I was stunned. And one of the other folks at the show I was talking to was like, I think you're good. I don't think you need any suggestions from me now. I'm like, well, if you think of anything, just let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stuff where you see the individual shots with Feelbad and some of the wrestlers and Doc, and we shot that in a dark corner of the West Newton Gymnasium. So I was completely in everyone's business that night at that show. So I appreciate the wrestlers not appearing to be too super annoyed by my presence, as I just kind of like was going in and out all night and bugging people. So
I love it.
Appreciate them sharing their space with me, helping to make it possible. I think they're pretty happy. I've gotten a few compliments from them too. So appreciate all that. All the positive feedback is always good. I really enjoyed telling the story because I think RWA is a pretty special promotion, and I've grown very attached to it from going to shows almost every month now. So
absolutely,
it's a lot of fun to do this.
Nobody's as excited to go to the promotion they're assigned to as Matt and the I love when and this is like, you guys are behind the scenes, you have the production meeting and everything, but there's little things you don't get told, the little things that are going to happen in matches. And I love when they hook Matt and he's on the headset. It's like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Is he going to turn on him? Is Johnny Norris going to turn on Patrick Hayes? Is this the night where it happens?
Yeah. Me in the headset being like, oh my God, this is it. And then, and then what happens. Oh my God, that was, I love that.
And that's the ender. I love that's the ender is.
That was just like nothing. I was like, I had that burned into my mind. And I was just like, nothing can follow that. Nothing can follow.
That is, if you don't know, it was Chris Taylor giving a cutter, the ugliest looking cutter I've ever seen, to Dr.
Most devastating.
Hold on. Not ugly as in execution, as in murdering the individual.
He murdered Feelbad.
He MDK'd his ass with that thing. So
I cannot believe how nasty that looked. It was unbelievable. And then Preston Everett does the double splits right after it happens
with the punctuation.
It's so like, I could have cut it off after the cutter, but I'm like, no, Preston, we got to get this in. We have to leave this. We have to leave this in. It's too good.
Oh, so good. Well, I can tell you what, we're going to talk to Tony here about his reaction to the video in RWA coming up this weekend. But, of course, you can check out all the history. Of course, a lot of the back years and years and years of RWA is on the IndieWrestling.us YouTube page. And you can also check out over we do have the more recent stuff on the network and things like that, so you can go check all that, including the 15th anniversary Uprising, I think is this month's show, is going to be live on the network. Gangrel is going to be there. I think he's taking on Chris Taylor, and there's going to be all kinds of crazy stuff happen. You're not going to want to miss this. Depending on what I'm doing at the other show, I may have it on my phone to keep an eye on what's going on at RWA, and I may have to film entrances to a kickboxing show, so this might be awkward. So that's okay. I've earned that. So anyways, go check it out, indiewrestling.us. You can check out the near entire, I want to say near entire, all the way back to 2010, 2011.
I think you're missing like 4 shows in that.
Are you
thing.
serious? Like it's like
Yeah.
I think we're missing the first year of RWA, and I don't know where they're at.
I think you have parts of the first year. I might have to rewatch, but
I have to look. I just remember March to Victory, and Corey Grace was there. So
okay,
he was there for like
you
one or two shows
first year.
when I started filming again for RWA. So, but anyways, I can't think of anything that has as long and as consistent. It feels like that's not a large bar, but like consistency is it, isn't it? Like I mean, the lows were not that low at RWA, and everybody has them. There's a roller coaster of the booking goes up and down, the crowd goes up and down, but really, it really didn't. Like we're talking about the up and downs are like a matter of 50 people in the crowd, and on a bad night, and
those 50 people are like die-hard fans.
Yeah,
they can make it sound like 200 people there.
But like I mean 50 people like up and down from the like 250-ish, So like and those people are like they're all stricken with COVID, so or something like that.
I'll say this before and save the rest for the next segment, but like I'll take 50 RWA fans over 200 whatevers. Like I know 50 RWA fans, they're going to hate my guts, but they're going to cheer for who they like. They're going to boo who they hate. And they're pieces of trash, but they're RWA's pieces of trash. And there is no better crowd if you want to watch a wrestling show that is equal parts unhinged and artistic.
Absolutely. And it is, as you say, the last Wild West in Western Pennsylvania wrestling.
No, it's the last Wild West in wrestling, period. Like GCW is close, but they're too polished for us. We're Tombstone every day. Every show is Tombstone. We are the last Wild West. We're the last frontier.
Every day is Tombstone Your Mom Day at RWA.
I will piggyback off of that. RWA is the indie for people who think they don't like the indies. That it will turn you. It will grab you immediately. It is what you're looking for.
It is a little pinch of Southern wrestling, mixed with some other things. So it's something special. So Tony, you've been a part of RWA for how long now?
Oh God. 18 November 2018, I think was my first show. So do the math. I'm
6 of the 15 years. You've been there for about 50% of at least what we've captured.
At least what you have. Yeah, and I was in that Matt's video once.
That's right. I mean it's only since about last year that I stopped thinking of you as the new guy. So
Well, there goes your Patreon subscription. So go F yourself. No, it was a great video. I was amazed with some of the things. I was amazed with how many of these events or the moments that he captured that, as an outsider, I remember hearing the rumblings of, because when you're sitting in the stands and you're on the outside looking in, you're watching different shows and you're hearing about this little place in West Newton called RWA that's unhinged, and they pile drived one of the wrestlers' mothers, and there was flaming bats, and they lit the ring on fire, and they threw a fireball out of the fan, and there was a riot, and like you're hearing all these things, and you're like, what? And now I work for the company, and I'm like, no, I get it. Yeah, no, that's right.
You're like, why is everybody else so tame?
Yeah, no, this is, tame's the wrong word. I would say that RWA has an air of, we will always be that company that wants to look at the other companies that look down at us, look up at them, flip them off like a 6-year-old kid, flip them off to the face and say, good luck this month. And we're always going to be that way. And the other company can come to us and be like, hey, we did, 350 people and we brought in this name and this name, and we're going to be like, okay, we had this match and the fans lost their shit, so go F yourself,
and we
fuck
still
you.
and still had the 250 people you have every month, no matter who's booked.
Right. It was icy and 19 degrees and we had 250 people. Like, yeah, fuck you. Good luck next month. Like, I mean, there is an era of fuck you when it comes to RWA.
And it really is, and that's right from the start
down.
of it too. Yeah. So and this was like, even when I started there, it was something that I rolled my eyes at too, right? Like, it really was, and it proved itself. It proved me wrong, and you look at where that's at. So
I don't think this is coming from someone who just like recently was allowed into the clubhouse, so to speak. The chip never goes away. We never, in that locker room, in those production meetings, on that table, Doc, me, whoever else is sitting at that table, even the camera, Sorg, when you're shooting, when Matt's shooting, there is no one at that table that is doing production at RWA in the ring, calling it. I mean, Hank Hudson's a Hall of Famer, and he has a chip on his shoulder every time he's calling this stuff. Like, he's a Hall of Fame ring announcer, and he's ready to just absolutely run it through the door every month.
Reminder, the guy that gave Cactus Jack his hometown.
Yep.
Announces for this still.
Yeah, Hank Hudson is a legend in every sense of the word, and it's not hyperbole. He's a legend. And we all still have chips on our shoulder. I mean, the Gambinos don't have anything to prove anymore. They're out there every month trying to prove something. And you even talk to some people like that no longer wrestle for RWA because they moved to a different area. Like, Jimmy Cicero pops in my head. Jimmy Cicero is still the biggest RWA supporter out there, despite the fact that he no longer wrestles.
And Dino, I see
RWA.
Dino on the comments every once in a while too.
Oh yeah, they and because it's a family atmosphere, and even though like I feel bad and I like constantly get into it, we have major blow up fights. Sorg, you've seen them. We've been in each other's faces, nose to nose, yelling at each other about production ideas and creative direction on video shots and how much I'm getting paid. Those things, you move them out of the way, because despite the fact that I hate Feel Bad and I hate him with a burning passion, like, I do recognize that he is cooking here.
What is happening in the Slack? I'm so sorry. We'll get to that later. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's, I mean, yeah, it definitely Feel Bad's a guy. Feel Bad is a very decisive guy too. It's definitely somebody that I've had my issues with in the past too. So, but I mean, I think that shows the power of what's happening here. So what is happening on this next show? We mentioned Gangrel. Chris Taylor is something that's going down. What is popping up on this show here that we can talk about?
Good Lord. Where do you want to start? Let's go with that, because there's a lot of things I can go from here. We can start with the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
If you want, start at the top, move our way down. So, last month, going into the season's beatings, the Rev Ron Hunt was dethroned by Patrick Hayes. Patrick Hayes has been a staple of RWA for a huge chunk of those 15 years, and now holds the heavyweight championship. Rev wasn't pinned. It was a scramble match, and Rev lost in a fashion that he's not happy with. And if you want to check the full match out, go to indiewrestling.us, either the YouTube or the Indie Wrestling Network. Rev is going to get his rematch, which he 100% deserves. 100% champion who loses the title gets an automatic rematch. That is one of the staples. He deserves it. He's making it fans bring the weapons, and that's where my gripe is with this. And it just screams one of those Feel Bad giving one of his guys an extra step to stand on, so to speak. You know, Patrick Hayes overcame the same obstacles Rev had to overcome. Rev screwed him out of the No Limits Championship, and now that Rev doesn't have his heavyweight title, he's going to use every tool he has, or every tool Feelbag gives him, to win, and it's problematic, especially since the RWA fans are nuts when it comes to fan brings the weapons. I've seen pinatas with thumbtacks in them. I've seen cheese graters that were filed down to be extra sharp. I've seen pinatas. I said the pinatas with it. I've seen pumpkin pies. I've seen cakes. I've seen someone tried to bring a Bowie knife once, and we had to nix that one. But like
a sword. I remember running to a guy outside that was mad he couldn't bring a sword in.
The saber.
Yeah, the big.
Yeah. It was nutty. Like these, when we say fans bring the weapons, like, oh, I'll bring a steel chair wrapped in barbed wire. No, these guys will bring a steel chair with barbed wire, and then they'll put like M80s and tape them to the freaking chair so they go off. And these RWA fans are nuts, and they've had a month to plan this. They've had a month to do this, and it's Christmas. This is how they get rid of their white elephant gifts. So we'll see what happens with this match. But if Rev loses this, there's an argument to be made that he goes to the back of the line. And Rev's not going to be happy about that. Sorry, that's wrestling. Sorry.
Let's talk about this. The potential show stealer of the night is Mr.
Oh,
LAGX and the Shadow Man Elijah did a 15-minute draw last time that they faced for the No Limits title match. Former teammates. If you haven't seen these guys, I remember our guy CL was there on camera. Had never seen these guys before, and again, the former Project X, Mr. LAGX, is both these guys are fucking phenomenal, and you have to see them in person, and just blew his mind. And now we're going to get another no time limit version of this match. So it's got to be potential show stealer of the evening.
Yeah, LAGX, Mr. LAGX, stands for Life's a Game X. He was originally, or he's had several different variations of himself. Project X left RWA, left wrestling entirely, to find where he wanted to be in this business. Now he's back, LAGX. Elijah came in as a protege under Project Society, under then Project X's banner. Since LAGX left, Elijah has become his own man. The match they had in December was 15-minute time limit, balls to the wall. These guys did not stop. They were going for gold every damn time, and the time limit just ran out. But you got to catch this match, because with no time limit draw, there's no way we can contain these guys. There's no way. Gravity's an option for these two. They can sometimes choose to ignore it. And they are going to have the potential to tear the house down. And we are the first month of 2024. They have the potential to be the best match of the year in the first month. Can Elijah beat his Jedi Master, so to speak? And that's the question. Can he beat him? Because it was a draw. It's not a loss, but it's not a win either. Meanwhile, can LAGX step up, claim the No Limits title, and reclaim his stance where he was, that trajectory that he was climbing before he took his mental excursion? There's a lot of things on the table here.
Another one I'm looking forward to: John McChesney and Preston Everest. That the jumping splits. Preston Everest from that video we just saw.
Are we pointing again?
Yeah, everybody's pointing. Apparently everybody's pointing. So there you go. There you go.
We can make jokes about Preston Everest and the splits. Let me be 100% clear. There is no hyperbole involved in this. Preston Everest is one of the best talents in the Pittsburgh area, bar none. End of period. Period. End of discussion. McChesney is one of the best vets. Period. End of discussion. Preston Everest's climb last year was amazing. He's looking to see 2024 as a year where he finally hits that ceiling and punches through it. To go up against McChesney, if you have a win against Big League, that is so rare, especially for someone as young and as talented as Preston Everest. If Preston Everest can get that, sky's the limit. He is going to have to be considered by RWA management and all of Pittsburgh independent wrestling as a serious contender for titles.
Absolutely. Here's another one I'm looking forward to. A big debut at RWA. Former 880 champion, friend of the show, Michael Emrico. Don't forget the M, whoever did graphics, against HL Supreme, sometimes a Super Hentai.
Well, he seems to be using it off and on again, so I think we're safe to use it again.
I don't know. Wes Newton doesn't seem to want to use it, so.
I don't know.
Worthington,
Anyway,
you're good. Sheridan, you're good.
We'll say HL Supreme for safety's sake.
Okay.
But I got to go down to 880 over the holiday season to see Gianni in all his glory, and I was impressed. You know, I went down, paid a ticket. Sorg, you saw me. I paid a ticket.
Yes, I did.
To go see that show, to see Gianni. I also got rung in to call a match, but that's neither here nor there. The point was to see this guy that was coming to RWA in 2024. His hype lives up to it. Now, all that being said, HL Supreme is HL Supreme. 20-plus year veteran of the business. He's wrestled a who's who. This man is one of the greatest cruiserweights this area has ever seen, maybe one of the greatest cruiserweights ever to exist in this area. And I just can't. It's a huge opportunity for Gianni to really get that first, like, signature win under his belt in beating a 20-plus year veteran. And that's a huge mountain to climb. But HL Supreme, he's a beast. So
speaking of veterans, the Gambinos and Warhorse for the RWA Tag Team title.
Yeah, Warhorse is the champions in this one, and Gambinos are furious about it. And, you know, you look over there, you got MED, you got Paul Atlas flacking them as the Gambino family. Warhorse is gosh, I'll ask Aaron in the chat. There's some people who actually consider Warhorse underdogs, despite the fact that they have really had the Gambino's number in matchups. I don't think you should be overlooking Warhorse in this situation. I really don't. The Gambinos are tough, obviously. They've wrestled everywhere. Japan, you know, they've wrestled multiple up and down this country, and they have held multiple tag titles. They are the best in Pittsburgh winners for a reason.
And I think I think you are I believe we do have another women's match coming up as well.
There's some discussion still going on. I don't think we've made it official yet. We are, you know, my client Katie Bright is the #1 contender for the women's champion.
And I see Jessie Bell is on the poster.
Jessie Bell is on the poster. There's some discussion about financial compensation going on right now. I will say that if this match does happen Saturday, Katie Bright won when they faced off in November. The ref made an erroneous call to overturn it. Jessie Bell had to be helped to the back. History will repeat itself in January, and we will, no refutes, Katie Bright will be the RWA Women's Champion. And she should be the women's champion, but Feel Bad's phonies decided to do some jack-off shit. So, you know what? We'll do it again. Now, I have full faith in Katie Bright, and I know the RWA fans, because I hear them, they're terrified of her because they know she's good.
And, of course, I mentioned Gangrel and Chris Taylor, I believe, is happening.
Okay, I have to vent about this for a second. Ever since – so Chris Taylor has been a staple about – from RWA since its inception, practically. The man has been the name, one of 3 names that you relate to RWA. Of course, the other 2 being Ryan Edmonds and Ryan Mitchell, all collectively known as The Circle. Those 3 names are etched on the spine of the history book of RWA. Do you know how many times Chris Taylor had the heavyweight, had an opportunity to win the heavyweight championship? 7. 7. 7. They were all within a 2-year span, and then he won it once. They did not, and by they I mean Dr. Feelbad, did not give him his opportunities because, in my mind, and in Chris Taylor's mind, I believe, he was treated as a quote-unquote good soldier. You know, he alludes to it. Chris Taylor alludes to it in a promo he released a couple days, I think a day or so back. he finally gets a marquee matchup against Gangrel, one of his childhood heroes. And Feelbad's bringing Gangrel in as a hit job. So he doesn't get the matches when he's playing goody two-shoes soldier Chris Taylor, but the second Derek wants to hurt you, he gives you the match. I'm sure Chris Taylor is excited to face off against Gangrel, but the fact that Derek, Dr. Feelbad, is using it as a weapon against Chris Taylor because he's butthurt that Chris Taylor decided to think of himself as a human being and not as a pawn for Feelbad is insane to me. Insane. And it's wrong and it's disgusting, and we're going to support it because we're stupid at RWA, apparently.
Well, you can check out all the stupid RWA at IndieWrestling.us this weekend if you're not able to get into West Newton, or maybe you're scared to go to West Newton. Some people are scared to go to West Newton, Tony.
I don't blame them. Look at my neck.
That's true, too. Matt, is Matt still on the line?
I can't imagine why anyone would be scared to go to West Newton. So
No.
It's a lovely place.
Absolutely.
Fine people down there.
Right by the river, get some canoeing. Okay, maybe not this time of the year.
Scenic and pastoral West Newton, Pennsylvania.
Sorry, nine times Chris Taylor has gotten an opportunity at the heavyweight championship. Sorry, I missed to counted 2 because they were in fatal 4-ways. So he only had 7 singles opportunities and then 2 fatal 4-ways. Excuse me, my bad, Feelbad. I forgot to rank that. My mistake. 9 times since 2017. Are you out of your mind?
There you go. Wow. IndieWrestling.us is going to be live for you as part of the network if you're a member on YouTube or over on IndieWrestling.network. Guys, we're going to hit a break real quick. You're going to see that 15-year anniversary video that Matt Carlin's put together if you're with us on the video. Otherwise, go check it out over on the over on the YouTubes and the RWAs and stuff. IndieWrestling.us, RWA on the Facebook page, Renegade Wrestling Alliance. We'll be right back after this.
We're going to prove to the world that Renegade Wrestling Alliance is the greatest movement in independent wrestling.
Wrath of the Wrath!
Oh! Second row! Oh, welcome to hell! There's Hayes, and oh my goodness, we have a new PA Regional Champion! Oh my God! Oh my God! No!
I don't know what happened in there, but Nick Taylor has come out of the toilet soaking wet.
Wait a minute, that's Mitchell's mom! What the hell? Oh my God, no!
The three of
comes the man of tomorrow, coming in hot as Supernova! Unbelievable maneuver! Look at Chris Taylor, born again, looking like the new RWA secret. Oh my God, look at the race! Oh my God, it's right over! Can you believe what we are seeing right now? The circle is back! The original circle and the new circle face to face! Oh my God, I'm getting ready for something! Son of a gun! Plow driver! It is time to end this. Hunt lives. Oh my God! Up and the table didn't break. Oh my God! Jesus, we have a brawl. We have a brawl.
Good without that. Ah, there we go.
There's
We
Bradley.
are back. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. We are back. The Rizz is here.
I'm still here.
Proper pronunciation of New Japan names. Matt Carlins is still hanging out with us.
Hello, my friends.
And, of course, Tony Kincaid of Renegade Wrestling Alliance having the show this weekend, which we've, I hope, sold you on here.
If I didn't sell you on it, what are you doing? 'Cause
yes,
I'm-
yes.
If he didn't sell you on it, fuck you. How about
By the
that?
way, Top Rope Tabletop. Let's mention this real quick before we get back into general wrestling news. You guys had a show this past week, and it was the, if I do say it for myself, the best looking show that I think you guys have done so far. I love this thing. Can we shout out Justin Idol on this table he put together?
Yeah,
Holy
shout out
shit.
to Justin Idol on creating an amazing tabletop for us to play on. This thing is stunning. It is 3 pieces, 2 sides for the players, 1 side for the DM, room for maps. We had some lights, some music. I think it is our best show we've done in we started during COVID, so it's been 3 or 4 years now, where we started doing Dungeons and Dragons, as a show for Sorg and for indie wrestling.
Yeah, that was a late COVID start, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a late COVID start. So it's one of those things where this has become sort of the hobby within the industry for us. The game is getting good. I feel like we're starting to get close to the end. And you can see the table right there, and it's phenomenal. This has been really fun to do. I'm excited to see how this campaign ends. I'm excited for some of the ideas that we have for the next campaign. We've also worked some one-shots in. I've done some shows there. Top Rope Tabletop's fun, and if you don't like D&D or have never really given it a shot, check our stream out. I think especially the latest episode, you can go back and watch all of them free on the Indie Wrestling .us Facebook page. I think they're also on the YouTube and in the network. And I think they're free. Correct, Sorg?
Yes, all free. Nice little background listening, probably. I think some people kind of podcast it while they work, from what I understand. So, if you like the D&D, you like Critical Role, go check that out. I think we have a lot of fun with it, and sometimes you have special guests. Like I know Dudders has popped up on there, Rizz has popped up on there as well. Some of you guys went down and did a special down at the Carnegie Science Center in the recent months. So So yeah,
We've had Rizz play. We've had
Yep.
Dudders. Any wrestlers? I'll put this out there right now. To any wrestlers who are watching this, and partner, if you can clip this, put this out there. Any wrestlers want to play? Contact me. Contact Keith. Contact Idol. We will figure out a way to get you into a game in some way, shape, or form. We are looking to just have fun on a Friday night, sometimes Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. Most of the time it's Fridays. And we're just looking to have fun, do some character fun, play some stuff. If you don't know D&D, we'll help you. Tyler Klein is a encyclopedia when it comes to D&D. I'm pretty knowledgeable too. We will help you. But
that's right.
come out, test it out. It's 4 hours and it's a blast. You'll love it.
That's right. I think our next one's happening in February 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. First?
Yes.
So whatever
That's
that
what
Friday
I have
is.
on my calendar.
Okay. Happy Groundhog's Day. If you guys get in a time loop. So I don't know what to bring up about WWE or AEW right now. We didn't mention Nick Nemeth at TNA. Actually, TNA and New Japan in the last 2 weeks, by the way. So looks like he's wants to face off with Moose, and he's who did he get in a fight with? Oh God, David Finlay, wasn't it?
It was Finlay, yeah.
Yeah. So some good moves there. I'm liking the post. Again, like everything's popped up here in the middle of December, so everybody's making their big splash here at the beginning of the year. Dana Brooke also showed up on TNA under a new name. So looks completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah. So, but again, it's someplace. I mean, I know that's somebody that a lot of us here on the show have really been behind Dana Brooke over the years and hasn't really gotten much or been in weird spots. Like if there's anywhere for her to shine, it's going to be over there on TNA.
I feel like Dana Brooke was always the one that got lost because of the Revolution, because she wasn't one of the NXT girls. She was sort of in between the generations. I don't think she was ever given a fair shake. I could make that argument about Natalya too, although Natalya's had a little bit more success just from being part of the dynasty of the Hearts. Dana Brooke probably deserved a lot more than she got in the WWE. I'm hoping TNA shows everyone what I saw, which is Dana Brooke's a pretty good women's wrestler and can go. And she wasn't given a lot of credit. For various reasons that I'm not going to get into because it's a little inside baseball, but let's go. I want to see what this happens. Completely unrecognizable, and I love that she's reinvented herself.
Yes.
Hopefully she's given the room to make that breathe, make that work.
Absolutely, looking forward to that. Guys, R-Truth's going to be like, I love R-Truth's completely going to be leader of Judgment Day by WrestleMania, right? So
R-Truth is already the leader of Judgment Day.
Yeah, they just not all of them know it yet. Merchandising leader, if nothing else. So
the second you get into the royalties breakdown, you're part of the group. Like I'm sorry, that's just how that's the rules.
Also, Wes Newton has the worst Subway ever per Ricky Morton.
This is true, and
this is true. I was there.
Yeah,
I was there. I'm the one was Ricky Morton's ride to Subway, and I was there for 45 minutes waiting for him. So, anyways,
that was an all-time great interaction between you and Ricky Morton.
And then I had to tell his tag team partner about it when he showed up the next month. And he's like, "This is the guy that took me to Subway. Tell him how bad the Subway was." I was like, "Dude, it was terrible." And I'm like, why am I talking about this terrible Subway to the Rock and Roll Express right now?
So when I got to the building when Ricky Morton that day walked up, Ricky Morton was eating, talking to Feel Bad. I gave my highs, hellos, flicked off Feel Bad, all that jazz. Shook Ricky Morton's hand. I was honored to meet you. And he's like, "Hey, it's great to meet you. Do you know your Subway sucks ass here?" I was like, "Yeah, I do. I do."
Yep.
But the distillery across the street is great. Crooked Creek Distillery, free cheap plug.
Oh,
I have several of their.
Man,
their
why aren't they the after party for RWA? So, but anyways,
because they like to go to bed at a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very true.
If other places could do it, why can't RWA? Right? Do we want an after party for RWA though? Like, I mean, in the long run, I don't know if that would end well. So
I'm going to plead the fifth on this one.
Okay, yeah, we're moving on from this one. Okay. What the hell is AEW doing this week? Deonna Purrazzo. Can we talk about body shaming for a moment?
Yes.
Yes.
So first, JD Drake,
Yes, we can.
who had a big match, I think 2 weeks ago on Collision. Deonna Purrazzo comes up, and I know, I'm a huge fan, and I'm watching the match, and then it does, and I'm terrible because I feel like I introduced it in the universe because I stuck in my head, I was like, some of these asshole AEW fans are going to go off on this. On Deonna Purrazzo and her body type, and by Monday my Twitter was, and again, the toxic people. I'm very good about getting the toxic people off of my timeline. My Twitter is okay, except for those ads are kind of sucking right now. My Twitter is not a cesspool like it is for everybody else. But I get everybody's reactions to the cesspool. Dustin Rhodes, JD Drake, Deonna Purrazzo, and a lot of people down the line from rosters talking about this. And again, this goes to the toxicity in wrestling fandoms kind of thing when you have no consequence to spout whatever stupid shit that's on your mind on a social media platform. And this was a thing. So first of all, the thing that I want to say on Twitter, but fuck it, my platform's my podcast, so I'm going to say it here. The people that don't like a JD Drake in pro wrestling must not like anything pre-Hulk Hogan. And let's not get into that can of worms either this week. So I don't know. Were you guys seeing any of this? Have any reactions to it? I'm just disgusted by it, but I kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you about.
Everybody's got opinions. You all sound like Twitter right now.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
Sorry. So I got a punch for a second.
Okay.
And I Tina has just said in chat, some of these men saying these toxic things have daughters.
Oh, jeez.
And that shit.
That's gross.
I'm going to try to pick my words because I deal with toxicity in my day job all the time, and I don't want to out myself a little bit here, real life, but I'll shoot as close as I can without revealing too much. Sorg, you know what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with toxicity all the time. We dealt with toxicity this weekend when something happens. Men, for some reason, online, a good chunk of a very vocal minority, do not understand that because it's online doesn't mean you have to show your whole ass.
Mm-hmm.
This is going on in wrestling right now, where people who are 45 years old, or I'm sorry, no, they're 25 years old. They look 45, and they are sitting there critiquing a woman and her body type who is a professional athlete who is wrestling 200 wrestling matches a year. Meanwhile, you can't get off your fucking ass to wipe the Cheetos dust off your chest. Shut the fuck up, you fucking idiot. You have family members who look at that shit and feel worse about themselves just by sitting there and being associated to you. Think about how this looks. I'm not the most religious man in the world, but you want this shit to be on your record when you go up to the pearly gates? Shut the fuck up, enjoy wrestling, or don't. I really don't give a damn, but enjoy the fact that you don't actually have to do anything that matters in the next day. Meanwhile, the wrestlers are going to do stuff that entertains thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of people, and you can bitch and moan about whatever you want to do on whatever message board, whatever Reddit you want to be on. Maybe it's Twitter. Maybe you love X. I don't really give a shit, but go to hell. All of you.
Yeah, you ever want to, whenever you see these comments online, do you ever want to go to the speaker, the person on Twitter and be like, take a picture of yourself without your shirt on and let's talk,
Sorg.
Oh,
really? No, like comparative, because we know the kind of people that pop up on these things. So
if Apple invented a computer that punched people in the face for saying shit that they shouldn't say, I would invest in Apple every single last cent I own. I would sell my house to do it. I fucking hate people.
Rizz?
I
Follow that up.
I don't think I can, but I'm gonna try.
Anybody can follow up an emotional rant. It's the Rizz.
Deonna Purrazzo is an amazing athlete. She's talented. She's built like a truck and can mess me up if I say or look at her wrong in any way.
Have you met her in person? Have you seen her in person? She's been to a couple of local shows. I know.
No,
Okay.
I'm just prefacing myself because what I'm about to say is I shouldn't be the one telling people how they look.
Right. Right. Yes. Listen.
It's not that hard.
Listen. You are all beautiful Mayhemers, but we all fit that. None of us should be complaining about how somebody looks.
No. Like it boggles the like. I'm very introverted in my way. I speak how I think how I want to think and all that stuff, but I don't know why or how people can actually type that and be like, huh, got her. Like that doesn't make it doesn't make sense.
Is there negative people that want to bring others down to make themselves feel good? So
And good on Deanna for proving like she responded the way that one of the ways that should have happened. She made sure to be like, hey, this is not right. I was offended. Also, I look damn good in this, so everybody else can.
is that the beach bathing suit picture that's been going around? I saw Lady
I
Frost
believe that
share
was
that
her.
one.
Was
Yeah.
it her?
No,
Posted it,
she posted her own picture, and she posts
So,
pictures like
yeah.
that all the time. So like I think that's her Instagram.
But yeah,
account, you know?
I shouldn't be the one talking about
Mhm.
her body. She should be the one talking about like showing like being an athlete. We should be on here talking about her wrestling. And she's an amazing wrestler, amazing athlete, and an amazing like a talent in professional wrestling.
And is on the biggest and probably the biggest stage she's been.
Yes.
You know, being on primetime wrestling television in the States, right?
Men
I
have
would
to be
imagine.
better at this.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We had this happen. I'll let Matt, but we had this happen with Jordan Grace. You know, it just popped in my head. This happened a year or so ago with Jordan Grace. People are aware that Jordan Grace can deadlift you, probably.
Yeah.
Jordan
Like whoever's talking, she can deadlift you.
Jordan had a really great comment on this, and I think also sharing that picture that I just showed on video.
Yes.
Says people will complain whether you have 5% body fat or 30. It doesn't matter. So like it's a and that's what I do like that because I think a lot of people grew up on in this age. It's weird to say grew up on the Divas era where all the girls looked the same and had the same body type, right? Mickey James was the outlier here, and which sounds insane, right? When you look at Mickey James. So that's the quote unquote expectation that's been set by the most popular of wrestling media for the last 20 years. Which they're only now getting into your Nia Jaxes and your other the variety of women in that division, right? They're all shapes and sizes. So as part of that, on top of whatever the mainstream media depictions and things like that. So like no, absolutely, it's gross. Matt, you have no daughters.
No, I don't.
But
have
I hope you're
daughters,
treating your
but
your sons how to talk about women.
I do my best, Sorg. Anytime there's an opportunity to discuss these kinds of things, we try to bring it up, and we try to be careful because I am father to 2 teenage boys now.
God, God, both of them have crossed the threshold.
I'm not going to state
I'm
anything
sending
that
prayers.
isn't already. This isn't. I'm not stating a thing that's probably isn't already widely known. But we as men often have very different tastes when it comes to who we're attracted to. But you could survey the 4 of us right now. We could come up with 4 different interpretations of the ideal. That being said, whoever's out there criticizing Deonna Purrazzo, who's probably in the best shape of her career, is patently so incorrect it boggles the mind. That being said, it shouldn't matter. We should be talking about Deonna Purrazzo because it's awesome that she's getting a chance to show what she can do in AEW. She's going to bring a very unique style that the company doesn't really present that often in its women's division. So it's exciting to see her in there. And yes, I have met Deonna Purrazzo. It was a long time ago. She was a lovely person, and I have wished her nothing but the best ever since. And I have watched happily as she has ascended the ranks ever since. we're Twitter/X is only one of many social media platforms. It is a dying platform. It does nothing. It has no value. It has a little bit of value. If it was completely without value, I would have deleted the app by now.
Sadly, it's the only place. It's the only place that I'm aware of for regular wrestling chatter. I haven't found the other place yet. And if you know it, please let me know. Good times.
Good times.
At WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Yes.
I wish we could just I'm the type who's just like, put them on mute and let them scream into the void and let them rot. That's how I think, that's how I would advise anybody to handle, trolls online on social media. But you know what? Sometimes one of these assholes needs to be dragged out into the street and shown off for everybody. And so
to hopefully make somebody think about it. So,
and her post was like, it was really good. It was just incredible. She's like, you got this to say, but you know what? I'm in AEW now.
Yeah.
I'm married.
Yeah.
I've got a college degree. I'm getting my master's. Here's a picture of me in a bikini. F off.
See, exactly. Actually, if I can kind of close this, like for those that haven't seen it or don't have the time to dig into it, catch this podcast later. I'm going to read the tweet real quick. I've already seen it. I had a cry when I realized my worth is not determined by one, my body, two, other perspectives. Perception of me. I'm a 5 times world champion. I have worked with nearly every major company in the world. She did work for WWE for a period, by the way. I am one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. Furthermore, I just earned my bachelor's degree. I am looking to start a master's program, and most importantly, I have a husband who thinks I am beautiful, whether I'm a size S or M, small or medium. I've never been a size small. They are entitled to their opinion, and I'm entitled to tell them to kiss this fat ass, kissy emoji, and that picture that we've all seen. So there you go. Most poignant point there. So
you know what? And like in wrestling, like we cannot have a homogenized world of pro wrestlers. You need different people. You need different people. That's how it works. Styles make fights.
Right.
You're
not just
different types of people. Yeah, you need Willow Nightingale just like you need Riho, because those are stories as old as time in pro wrestling.
And just like we represent for gender, nationality, sexuality and things like that, like body type is another thing of representation. If you're like, man, a guy that looks like JD Drake can do this, like maybe I can, right? Like it is bonkers. It is wild to me to watch guys like Drake and Samoa Joe, who are bigger guys, but have the cardio to do a 20-minute, 30-minute match like crazy, right? Like that is just like, I don't know the math there to make that work. And I'm going to keep doing my core sessions and work on that. So,
we shouldn't have to talk about this. Like
No, absolutely,
legitimately,
absolutely.
wrestling, it like any other sport has different body types in all divisions, in all gender and non-gender ring work here, and we know who's a good wrestler and who's a bad wrestler. I mean, we've seen, God, the 80s were filled with a bunch of people with 0% body fat and couldn't work 6 minutes. Okay, so that's not the end all be all. The fact that men, the men are body shamed every once in a while, but when the women get body shamed, it is so relentless that it just doesn't stop.
Just anything involving women on the internet. Look at Gamergate. If you know the background behind it, it's a very, very disgusting and ruthless situation that happened over there in the gaming community. It's always that case, and it's this instilled historic male toxicity that gets us here. So hey, you know what? Either way, no matter where you're at on this, we can all. I know I got a body by Slice on Broadway, New York City style. Yins are made. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills, and a few other locations. Go check them out. Support our friends, SliceOnBroadway.com, and thank them for supporting the Wrestling Mayhem show and the Tuesday night podcast here at Sorgatron Media Studios.
Your segues for Slice on Broadway get a lot better, Sorg.
Okay, yeah, I'm like, I gotta get out of here somehow. So, and I just went with it. So, anyways, shit. Tell us what you learned from wrestling this week. And I did kind of step things up. I think it was Podner. I kind of co-opted his what I've learned. No, actually, I learned Truth should be the head of merchandising, and the NXT women put on a slapper of a battle royal fatal 4-way. Why don't I remember that from last week? Let's see. Okay,
because it was tonight, Sword.
Was that tonight? Oh God, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, there.
I'll catch it Thursday when it's on the cock. Okay.
NXT was cooking tonight.
Listen, I'll catch it Thursday on the cock. I thought Tony was saying Tombstone, not Tombstone. Okay, catch it up here. Well, I'm getting this so I don't forget about what everybody learned. Let's see. No, that's just what you were saying. That's I know they're in here. I lost it.
Oh, well.
Rizz, what did you learn from wrestling?
Oh, come back to me, Sorg.
Matt, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that it's probably time for Tony Kincaid to see a neck specialist.
You think I haven't?
I'm worried.
A better
you
one.
You think I don't see a chiropractor 3 times a week?
A better one.
Or monthly?
No, 3 times a week. No joke. Like literally 3 times a week. My neck is fucked.
It's too bad you're not in better terms with Feel Bad, because I understand he has some magic hands.
I would not trust that man's hands near my neck to save your life.
Okay.
T's and P's, Tony.
Thank you.
Oh, what was that actually? What was that actual match I was looking for? So keep going.
All right, you're what? Tony, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
RWA is 15 years old. What? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's nuts. It's crazy. And they survived, and thank you to me for the last 6 years being amazing. Just amazing commentary on the IndieWrestling.us our YouTube page, the network page, also here occasionally. Just amazing stuff by your voice of RWA, Tony Kincaid Doc also. But mostly me.
Okay. I learned that if you're working a show with John Moxley, make sure you watch your stuff. I was sent this one. This is a fan cam of Moxley entering the San Jose Arena, and he's coming around. And are you ready, production people, if you're watching this on video? He's stepping up to, he found a table.
No.
Oh, my God, that's the soundboard for the venue. So I love you're watching this, and watch the guy. Oh, he reaches for something. He's reaching for something he doesn't want him to step on. So and he's got a water right beside the soundboard, I believe, for the venue. So that was fun. So Moxley respects / disrespects his surroundings. So I thought that was kind of a fun deal there.
Okay, I'm not going to be the one to tell Mox to get off the soundboard.
Oh, I'm not fucking telling him either. No, fuck no.
I'd like to see that he respectfully disrespects the audio clip.
Yes, respectfully disrespects. He's not like he. No, I'm not going to drop names.
Name names.
Name names.
Name
names. Name the wrestlers who are making my cameramen wet.
Who's on Sorg's Do Not Fly
That's right.
list.
That's right, Jack Pollock. That's right, Derek Dillinger.
How much breadth, how much distance do you want me to give Gangrel during his entrance on Saturday night?
Take it from the side. 10 or 15. Take it from the side. Yeah,
I want you to get up really close.
There was I think CL got a spray from Gory at one of the shows recently, and it was like the first time he shot Gory. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you he spits.
Fun little, since we're talking about RWA, I'll share a fun RWA production story. During the summer months, it's very handy to have a bottle of water near ringside so you can rehydrate, since you're in a 150-degree environment inside the West Newton Gymnasium. And on one occasion, I had stashed my water bottle underneath the ring, And during one of Ryan Edmonds' random rampages, he goes underneath the ring, finds my water bottle, picks up my water bottle, shakes it off at somebody, and then just chucks it across the floor and gets me wet at the same time. It was an amazing feat of just like not only eliminating my drink, but also making sure I got wet too. And he probably didn't. Do you think he knew it was my drink, Sorg?
I don't think he cared.
I don't know. I always think
he
these
cared.
guys
Ryan
never
Edmonds don't care.
think anything of me, but then I start to think maybe there is a connection there. So I'm never
Matt,
sure.
I can tell you as someone who's known Ryan Edmonds for a few years now, he does not know who you are.
Good. I mean, all right. Okay.
Uh,
Well, maybe next time.
Who was it that? I forget who it was. Chachi lets me know who he doesn't think knows his name sometimes. On
Yeah.
shows. And it's kind of fascinating. And I've had to correct him a few times. I was like, oh no, they know who you are. And he was like, yeah, but they don't know like my name. I was just like, no, but I think they wrestling know who you are. So it's like it's a different thing. Like you are a known entity here, you know. Even if they don't know your name, like don't take offense by that. So
It took people at RWA like a couple years to really get down who I was, like my name. I got called Timmy a couple times. The fans knew it right away because they were like, "Fuck you, Billy Kool-Aid." Thank you, church, for that one. But you know, it just takes some time, and you're not in the back. But I mean, honest to God, we appreciate everything the production team does. You know, all the way from Chachi to Mike Carlins to
Perfect.
that was the whole bit. That was the bit.
I've always tried to like my philosophy is like part of the production team has always been like stay away from these wrestlers just unless there's a reason to just engage, just leave them alone. But it's been funny just to kind of over time you start to like get to know some of them and you build a rapport. It's makes it very interesting, especially when you're out there then shooting them doing the craziest stuff.
I never presume anybody knows who I am until we've had like a real conversation.
That's kind of how I feel too. Yeah.
So at any of
I
these
just
level
forget
shows,
people.
you just
I've quickly forgotten. Yeah.
Like guy with the camera. Yeah.
So I learned.
Yes,
I
Rizz.
finally found a thing.
Oh, good. I've been vamping.
I actually was in a watch party for like a few seconds watching this, and I kind of want to watch more.
Like right now?
There was not now. No. Like maybe 2 days ago. I think 2 days ago. It was a 6-man tag match from All Japan Pro Wrestling. Mitsuhiro Misawa, Kawada, and Kikuchi teaming up to face the team of Rick Rude, Steve Dr. Death Williams, and Terry Gordy. I want to watch this match in its entirety. I learned that match exists, and I learned that it's only 4-star ratings on WON. And I want to see how good that is. That's what I learned.
There you go.
Stop
All
listing star ratings, please.
I know. I don't like
all ratings and cage match ratings. They can all suck a dick.
By the way, All
Good
Japan
match, bad match.
All
period.
Japan started popping up on Fight Plus, so just a little tip for you guys. It's not in English, by the way, but if you want to go check it out.
That's even. Why you sound like that's a bad thing, Sorg?
No. Wait, I'm just letting you know if you want to check out like new All Japan. I hear there's some good stuff happening there. And actually, which one had? No, that was that DDT that had Jericho last month with Takeshita. Thank you.
Takeshita.
It's late.
Thank God I'm here.
That's why he's here. That's why Matt's here.
Tina learned. I love seeing people mending fences. A certain to TNA that may have been spoiled. Yeah, there was some. I'll say it because I don't think this is something on show. I think this is something that happened afterwards. Okada is in the ring and he kisses the TNA logo and says, "I don't hate TNA." For what they did to him on his excursion. He had a really weird gimmick apparently back then, so it was those days.
Weird racist is the term you're looking for.
Might be,
okay.
Racist.
I did not view a lot of the old Okada, so I'm not.
He was the sidekick from the Green Hornet,
Oh,
which
God.
was racist enough as is.
Oh no! Oh no! That was Hogan's idea, wasn't it? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I learned how to express myself this weekend.
Say that. Why? How?
In a different
Sorry?
way than at MySpace night a week ago, by the way. So, hold on. I'm trying to pull it up. So
Sorg, you're glad we can't take these out of context.
yeah, I'm glad nobody can clip these by themselves.
Yeah.
So I was while I was tweeting up a storm on Saturday. I shared a tweet of I was really excited about this like I opened up the new Noah show that happened over the weekend, and there was like a really cool Boca look, and this guy had this cool jacket, and of course Sam Adonis knew him. So so I mentioned about like I need to watch this show after tonight's 10 hours of wrestling between TNA and New Japan and the 3 hours of Collision and / Battle of the Belts and everything like that. I watched it all by noon the next day, by the way. But anyways, so Adonis says to me, "I don't know how you do it, Sorg. I still watch more than anyone you know. Yet I still watch more than anyone you know, and after 3 hours of wrestling, anything contemporary, I'm done." And he and I have had conversations about like normal wrestling and keeping attention. So. Again, I got to write this, and I just wanted to read this. So this is I've never put this down. I said I breathe this stuff. I want the entire Baskin Robbins. I want to be the best producer I can be, so I'm watching the production cues and the camera moves. It's my two passions together. And Missy hasn't been home for a month. So I don't know. It just really kind of boiled down how I do feel this stuff, and I'm just like, why am I still watching wrestling? Why am I not pulling up, the Godzilla show that I want to watch, or this or that, or the other thing that I had to make extra time to go watch Echo when it all dropped last week, right? And this is it. Like this is the thing
Because you can't point out Hardcam.
Yes. Hardcam sucks in the Godzilla
Like
film.
Hardcam's over there.
It's over there. No, it's over
That way.
there. No, it's over
Right
there.
there.
They're shooting it like pro wrestling, so why not?
Hard cam for Godzilla versus Kong was on Mount Fuji.
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's that's it. I want to be at this stuff. I've had plenty of great opportunities, but I will go to. I went to freaking dirt wrestling in Tennessee when I could, because I want to experience it all. There's so much variety of this thing, and I want to go to the KSWA at the Eagles Hall or wherever the fuck it is. I want to go to Enjoy at Mr. Smalls. I want to go to WrestleMania. I want to go to Forbidden Door. All of those things and everything in between. I want to see a wrestling revolver show now, apparently. So I want that experience. I want to experience Washington Hall with the Fire Wrestling, Hammerstein Ballroom with Ring of Honor in its heyday. Everything is like I am deeply motivated by experiences that you can feel. And that's what I roll with. That's why I go to the Gathering. That's why I go to Hall of Wicked. That's why I love going to like RWA, because you feel it, the wrestle tingles, if you will. The Washington Halls, the Hammerstein Ballrooms, the ECW Arena. I'm there for the experiences. I'm there for the feeling, the rush, if you will. And there's nothing like, a few hundred people, 50 people in some venues in different places, that are all feeling a vibe. They're all into it, and you feel the energy of people. This is why I used to just walk around the mall when I'm by myself when Missy's on the road or something, because I just need to be around people and feel a vibe. Less so these days on that part. But so I avoid the mall at all possible. But that is it. And I want to experience this. I want to watch all of it. I want to know all of it as much as I possibly can, because I'm entertained and informed by it for something that I want to do. So whatever that is going to be, whatever that end goal is, I don't know what the fuck that is right now, but that is what I'm here for. And that is my lifeblood right now, is that kind of stuff. And the feeling I get with you guys here every Tuesday night, Wrestling Mayhem Show, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live. Thank you so much, Matt Carlins, for coming back on the show and previewing Mayhem Mania starting next week.
Next week, opening round. I'll be here, keeping things in line. Bring your matches, all you idiots. Come on, let's get some good ones this year.
There you
Don't worry,
go.
mine's
Looking
gonna be
forward
gone
to
in
it.
the
Go.
first round. It's fine.
The Rizz is here as well. Plays games with Dudders. Going to play again on January
Yes.
31st.
That was really fun. Like
I'm still confirming our potential guest.
Playing Backyard Wrestling 2 with like Andrew WK as one of the characters
Versus was it Sanjay Dutt or something?
versus Sanjay Dutt. Major Guns was there.
This all sounds like a weird.
It's
wet,
a fever dream.
It's a wet
It's
fever
a fever
dream.
dream.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know what the theme is for this next one. but
If we get the
it's gonna be
guest, it depends on a lot of factors. If we find the
Yes.
game we're looking for, and if we get the guest, we have to do what the thing we wanted to bring the guest in for. So we'll
Yes.
see. But if you are interested in playing NFL Blitz on Super Bowl Sunday with us, hit us up, DM us wherever, and we are working on something for that.
Now, I got a question for you about that, Sorg.
Hmm.
Is it the original NFL Blitz,
I was
or
gonna-
is it the NFL Blitz where you can like break bones and?
Well, I mean, it was
snap
probably going
legs
to be
and
the
all that stuff?
GameCube one you played last year, but
Okay,
I
that's
mean,
true.
we could
Yeah,
have
that's
fun
good.
and just throw back the N64 one and just roll with it. So it's a possibility. So
Just
we'll-
get the arcade game. We'll put
Get the
coin,
stand
we'll
up?
put quarters in there.
and I'll just put a camera on it, I guess. Yeah. So Tony Kincaid, he will be announcing, commentating, and slipping ringside, I guess, maybe potentially here. This Saturday at RWA's Uprising show, 15th anniversary is going to be. If you can't be there in West Newton, RWALive.com for ticket information, and of course streaming on IndieWrestling.us, IndieWrestling.network.
Yes, and check it out. Here's 15 years and 15 more after that, and hopefully you guys enjoy it
There you go.
or not. Fuck you.
I'm at Sorgatron on the social medias. I will be at Extreme Kickboxing in Akron, Ohio this weekend.
What?
That's what I'm doing. That's what I got booked, man. So I'm going to be doing some tech things, helping out with the production there. I'm not running the production, but I will be running cords and plugging things in, I guess, and getting weigh-in pictures, I guess. I got a media situation going on. So I will there and be sneaking in on the RWA view during my in-between rounds, I guess. So thank you, everybody. If you're on Patreon, we will have a little bit of post-talk going on here that we posted to your account, wherever that is. And, of course, you know, the audio versions on the feed. If you go through the Patreon, through the RSS feed, you'll get the Patreon extra bits through the audio now if you're set up for that. There's help how to do that on patreon.com. I think I've never done it before. I just use the app myself, which is very nice, by the way. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.